sura yako. I'm actually trying to learn Swahili at the moment. I feel like I've got the South African languages on lock, so Swahili would be very, very nice. It's going to come in handy a little bit. I'm also giving space for you guys to still recommend your favorite tunes for this morning on at Channel Africa 1 on social media or on our WhatsApp +2783 288 6684. Welcome back to it, and we are going to be talking to our legend for the day, Nhlanhla Ndlovu. He is opening a new chapter, who's moving beyond the stage, and now is going through a motivational speaking tour, which is quite exciting. We always want to hear from the people that kind of won in life. You know what I mean? Like you kind of got it on lock. We want to hear from you how you did it. You know, what are you doing that is different from the other people? How did you get to where you are today? And his turning point came when he chose to walk away from engineering and take a chance on an audition that would change his life. From navigating rejection to adapting to new countries, cultures, and the demands of large-scale theatre, Ndlovu has built a career through persistence and belief in his craft. Now stepping into music with his latest release of Vuuuka and taking his message directly to the audiences, he is inviting young people and creatives to rethink the idea of a straight path to success. Nhlanhla Ndlovu joins us this morning. Nhlanhla, listen, I feel like you are the epitome of when you name your child, you must be smart about it, because if you're not lucky, then we don't know. How are you?
Hello, Mama. Thank you so much for having me.
So excited to be speaking to you. I feel like you've had a very full life, a full theatre life. Even now you're in the car and I just know you're about to catch a flight. I can just feel it. I can feel the
airport. No, Mama. Again, like I said, thank you for having me. My name is Nhlanhla Ndlovu. I go by Mezo. And I'm born and raised in Durban, South Africa. And yes, I'm in the car right now because it is almost 2:30 on my side. I'm in Detroit, Michigan, in the U.S. So I'm on tour right now with work, of course. And so yeah, I've just had to stay up to speak to you guys. So it's really exciting to be here for sure.
Ngisho ne-accent, vele uzu, of course. And you're like, okay, we are really in Detroit.
In Detroit.
So talk to us about this, man. I mean, you've had such a full career in theatre, now music, motivational speaking. Just where is Nhlanhla right now besides Detroit?
Well, but besides Detroit, I'm actually in a very interesting place right now. You know, like I said, I was born in Durban, and so of course, man, I've been cool. I went to school, you know, primary school, secondary school in Durban, and then I was really blessed to go to the University of Cape Town for an engineering degree. Crazy. But it is, you know, while I was doing that, I just could feel that the music was burning. And so I was blessed to have a family friend recommend me going to a Lion King audition. I didn't even know what Lion King was at the time, so I looked it up. You know, I saw some pretty people singing isiZulu internationally, and I was sold, you know. And so, yeah, I auditioned for that. I remember having to like leave the office, you know, take the suits off and put some sweaters on, you know, going to auditions that way, you know, getting an off-site or on-site meeting, you know, to go to these auditions. And that was in 2015, you know, and a year later I got an offer to go to Madrid, and then I started traveling doing theater that way. It's been really a blessed journey, honestly.
Yeah. I can only imagine, you know, the day you got that opportunity, because now you're caught in between two worlds. In between the civil engineering world, you're also caught in between, you know, the passion now and the arts. What kind of qualified the decision to kind of go for it? Because I think it would be safer to stick with the engineering, right? But, you know, what was happening in your mind when you had to now make that decision to say, you know what, I'm going to have to leave this path and go this way, where it is uncertain, there's no definite yes, but with engineering, you know, it's uchaching every month, 25 is 25. So what was happening in that time?
Man, I would say that the opportunity met a man that was ready. Man, I honestly used to drive my friends crazy, man. Like man, I just told them, they knew that I was trying to do music. Even when I was doing my degree, it was the same thing. I'll be in class or not. Sometimes, just creating music, or I would stay up late creating music. Even in college, like AUCT and J, I was definitely in like an a cappella group, and I was part of choirs and stuff like that. So I was really already doing music. It was just a matter of doing it full time. So when I got the opportunity, I remember, obviously, there was a flair to it, that it is an international opportunity, and I remember it was written in Spanish as well. And, in 2016, the Google Translate was not very good. So,
And there was no
I saw
chat
like 2
GPT
months
either.
something there. There was no ChatGPT then. So I got whatever translation that was, and I saw something about 2 months. I was like, man, I get to go to Europe for 2 months. I really was just waiting for an excuse, man. Because I had done the degree, and I honored my mom, dude. Like when I tell the story internationally now, it's funny because really every African guy I meet is like a doctor doing something else. Like especially in the arts, like whatever they're doing is always accompanied by like being a lawyer or a doctor or whatever else that's going on. So I did that for my mom, and when that opportunity came, it really wasn't a hard choice for me. The logistics of it was crazy, of course, but I dove straight into passion, man. That's the best way I can say.
If there's one term that I cannot even hear, like I'm at a point where I can't even hear it, it's we need that thing to fall back on. Because you're kind of giving a
Yeah,
supplementary to if your gifts are not going to yield any sort of reward for you, right? You speak about
true,
a path
true.
not being a straight line. Do you think that that's something that we're not aware of as young people, especially walking into the? I mean, people are studying law now, not knowing that even lawyers are unemployed. People are studying. I know doctors that are
Yeah.
unemployed, which is insane to me. But do you think that we're a little bit delusioned about, or maybe given false illusions about the future and what it actually looks like and what the path looks like?
One thing, Mama, that I'm always careful to be speaking on is how things go, right? Like somebody that started doing a degree engineering, or a degree yeah, medicine, right? Like if you think about those people now, you don't think about someone who's like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and spend the next 7 years of my life on something I'm not going to be employed in. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like it's the information. Sometimes the industry information is not readily available in colleges as people make choices, for example, right? But also, if you think about it, like we're all in a way just trying to run to a place that we believe is better than our current circumstance, right? So in a way, we choose the quickest path sometime, or the safest one, right? And for the longest time, education was that safe path for a lot of us. But I believe there hasn't been an update on that as to, okay, what else is safe, especially for an African child, who can have that security. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's really that it's a information transfer, maybe challenge as well, but at the same time, it's also, I think, man, like I'm not gonna sit at home because I run a chance of not being employed. I'm still gonna get the degree,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, at least it's something that I'm using my energy towards, and ang hleli kaya, I'm not just at home sitting and doing nothing, right? But at the same time, I feel like that same passion for education, which is something that we take very lightly at home. Like young people at home are very passionate about learning and acquiring skills and getting certificates and going to school, even for degrees that they don't feel like they're guaranteed. So I feel like that can be harnessed in a way where it is met with industry relevant and updated information about industries that are really working at the time, or that have the work and have the resources, to be able to employ people. You know what I'm saying? So So now we're turning that corner again, right? Where we used to be judged for who you are, what degree you did in school, and what profession you're in, right? But now we're at a point where it's like, yeah, it can be those things, but are you hired?
Ooh.
Are you getting money? Like, are you living a
Mm.
lifestyle that somebody would like to live? So I think we're at just a time of change, and I feel
Mm.
like when the information meets where we are in terms of our efforts, then we might see.
Mm. I think it even goes beyond are you hired? Are you happy? Like you have to clock in every single day. Are you happy? And we really do
Yeah.
not even think about that enough. I'm going to ask you to hold your horses. We're going to take a short break. It is at 8:40 Central African time
Of
right
course.
here in the Oasis.
Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Africa, meet Abedi.
Yeah, that's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you will be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective. In a noisy world, find your calm. Tune in to Oasis with Ntsako Mhlanga.
Yeah.
Every weekend mornings, only on Channel Africa.
It is at 8:42 Central African time, 18 minutes to go before we head to the top of the hour. We are joined on the line by Nhlanhla Ndlovu, and to say he's a theatre performer would be really an understatement. Just really a well-rounded artist altogether. And I think for us, it's important to now talk about what's coming up, because I'm looking forward to seeing there's new music here, there's motivational speaking. What can we look forward to, Nhlanhla? It seems like really luck has been on your side.
Hey man, luck and Jesus Christ himself in the flesh and in the spirit,
Listen.
I'm always going to acknowledge that. I'm always going to acknowledge that, man. Oh my God, there's not enough luck to put a connecting thing through the dots of my life, man. There's no way. It's impossible. But yeah. So what I have next? I was really blessed to have a co-sign with one of really, I think, top 3 producers in hip hop here in America.
Wow.
And yeah, man, it happened in such a crazy way. Again, no amount of luck. There's no way. There is no way this thing is luck. So yeah, his name is Zaytoven. He's worked with major people like Usher. He's worked with Migos. He's worked with Gucci Mane and stuff like that. So yeah, this guy's major, and he found me on social media. He was like, "Donna, you're doing good. Let me know what I can do to help out." He was very kind with that. Yeah, and dude, like my page barely has 1,000 people. And this is gonna take me to my next point, man. Like, this is what I'm trying to get out there. This is my message I'm trying to get out there, man. There are things about especially gifted people who have gifts, who are brilliant at things. We're able to wield our power brain-wise and in terms of skills and experience, right, to do a lot of awesome things. But I strongly believe, man, between that and the harnessing of people given a chance, first of all, to be inspired. This is the 3 things I believe need to happen. People need to be inspired first. Tell me a story where things worked. Tell me a story where things are gonna give me hope that whatever I'm doing, at least there's a through in it. Number two, people are given a chance to learn and to acquire a skill. And then of course third is a place where they can practice their skill, win, lose, get a grading, go back to the first thing, get inspiration again, learn and apply. Inspiration, learn and apply. And I feel like in a continuation of that cycle, we're able to see people really break through and do things that could never be done before. You spoke about joy earlier and fulfillment and job fulfillment, right? Which are things that I absolutely believe. But in that as well, there's a guy in engineering right now who's supposed to be a Lion King. I want that guy. I want that guy to take the chance. There's a person in the studio right now working a job. They're like, oh, I guess, that I want that person. I want that person to be like, I guess I'll start drawing again. Oh, I guess I'll start DJing on the weekends again, because that person could be the next person that, discovers the new sound. It could be in medicine. It could be in so many different avenues. I'm telling people this, like, I went from a desk, bro, to a 10-year career on a Broadway show.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not advocating for people to be put in places they are not, qualified to be in, right? But I'm saying that there's just a level of genius that is stuck in low inspiration, low teaching, and low practice. And that's really what I think if we started doing so much more on those areas, we could see so much being done, man, and people really starting to realize their full potential.
Where can we find these motivate? Are you going to be streaming them live? Are they going to be something that we can all access? How do we keep up with Mr. Ndlovu?
So socials for right now, I do Facebook and Instagram under Nhlanhla Ndlovu. My Instagram is verified, so you should find me pretty easily. And then on my music side, man, I shot a music video that I feel like, down the line is going to be one of those historic moments. It is of home music, obviously from South Africa in Durban, and we shot it in Las Vegas, and we had a great time there. So if people want to check that out, they can check that out under my YouTube page, Ntsako Media. That's my production company that I have on YouTube. So you can see all things Mezzo there, which is my stage name. That's what I go by, Mezzo. And of course, you can check Mezzo on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as well, under Umezo_SA, UMEZO_SA. And yeah, so soon I'll be obviously taping some of these things, and some of them I'll put on my YouTube page when I'm going around speaking. Just started conversations with people at various institutions as well, just trying to work out certain times where I can come and speak to them as well. I'm doing high schools here in Georgia. It's where Atlanta is as well. Trying to have a talk here in Detroit as well. Even though it's an online or a digital age right now, I think they still value in face to face. So I do try and limit those exchanges to that human connection level. But I do want to talk about it also on platforms like you guys, Channel Africa and other stations as well, because man, like, I became an engineer because I saw somebody's car, bro. It wasn't even like nobody took me to whatever, So by the time they got me a guy that took me to site, like, yeah, I was seeing sights, but like I was also seeing that car, like inspiration for me. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because it's so random what gets people moving and achieving their dreams, man. It's so random. It's kind of crazy.
Absolutely beautiful. Nhlanhla, thank you so much for giving us your time today, and we look forward to seeing your success, man. Please keep us in the loop, man. Good news is nice. When you work in media, you hear so much negativity. This bomb here, this country here, this president here. Sometimes
I know, man.
About that where you are, that Detroit that you're talking about, we're just like, hey, be safe,
Detroit
brother.
is crazy.
Be safe,
there was a
brother.
No Kings literally on my way back from work. I just did a show tonight. On my way back from work, there was a No Kings march outside my stage door. So it's a real thing for sure. And I'm just praying that all the families that are affected by this, be okay. I mean, all economies are affected by this, and it's really such a tragedy. Just praying that everybody and their family can stay as safe as possible in these times. Sure.
Hey, ube safe mfethu. Hayi, bhuti. Hey, ube safe.
Mina ngaseThekwini mfethu ngizobaleka.
Mfethu usikhumbuze ukuthi uNdlovu phela, hayibo.
Ngukatsheni mina. Ngophuma nesagile eminyango ngithi uzani ke namabhoko.
Sayibasela phela futhi sicishe man, hayibo. Thank you so much for your time.
Mama, thank you so much. It's really a pleasure and a dream come true for me, man. It's different being here and doing these things, speaking of places and telling people where you're from and so on and so forth. But it's different to actually speak from people, with people from home, rather. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, amazing, man. Thank you so much. Please go get some rest. It's been a long night.
Hey, it's 3 o'clock here, so yes. Thank you so much, Mom.
Sure, no problem. It is 8:50 Central African time. We're going to take a short break. And then I have to say my goodbyes.
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu masuala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikie?